For the record, you guys have been fucking with me for a very long time. And obviously, I talk to ghosts, which means that my personality can change very fast. That's the point. So, in the PTSD thing, I did something that no person has ever done in history. I know that. And that's the thing is that by going further into my past and reliving my shitty past over and over again, the ridiculous abuse, it made me understand all of you fucking idiots. That's the thing. I can understand because I didn't live out the sexual weird fantasy stuff. Nope, did not. But you go through severe rape and all of those things. You can see a different world if you allow yourself the freedom to free your mind. Allowing yourself the freedom to free your mind opens you up to the possibilities of everything. You have to believe in everything. Ghosts, demons, vampires, aliens, all of that. Sounds fucking ridiculous, right? Completely ridiculous. Okay, most people can't comprehend that. Create a business, create a story, create bullshit. Didn't know how to do any of that shit. So I can't express myself, couldn't. I was getting too emotional. I couldn't explain myself. And that's what they say even with movies and different things. Like you get the ideas in your head. How are you going to get that out and express it to different people? How? Realistically, because there's so much there. And if you're not a writer, I'm not a writer. I've written and I've done different writing and it's bits and pieces all over the place, but I'm not a writer. So I can't get that out. I'm a visual person, my learning disability visual person. But if you're not a person who had like the equipment to do, all these movies and different things or whatever, you had to find a different way. So I found a different way. Social media became my art. I just had to get better at it by getting the message across and figuring out a different way to communicate with the people who would actually understand this bullshit story and who would help me. So the truth is, when I started, so today's date is February 23rd, 2021. Again, current status, single. Currently living with my ex-husband, who is my best friend, who are helping each other. Again, no, we stopped having a relationship in an intimate type of way, like 8 months ago. And that went down, for different reasons because it opened up a different world and different things and being able to see different things, and our relationship dynamic changed, and that's what it needed to. We both identify as straight, so and we both support all things. So we support people just being themselves, and none of that is an issue. But we had to open ourselves up to understanding different worlds, different spirits, different things. And because my pain was so deep and my anger was so deep, it's why I can see so many different things. That's why I can become literally so many different things. So masturbation is where do your thoughts go? Right? And so many people are afraid of those thoughts. And even I was embarrassed myself to talk about those topics and that type of stuff because I'm a closed person. I am not an open person. I became an open person in different ways, and I put out bits and pieces as trust was built. But this took a long time in different phases and stages so that I can get these parts of the stories out and then be more confident in talking about it, because there's the science component of it. So I always did like science, but with my learning disabilities, I had a hard time. Like reading for me is difficult, math is difficult, and then I felt stupid. But I'm smart. I've learned in a completely different way just because my learning is different, and that's why I'm out to prove. Even with my daughter being told she's with these learning disabilities and these different things, the problem is the educational system. They're so far in the past that they haven't adapted to today's modern world of how kids are interacting, how kids are learning. They put like down television and movies and different things. Oh, you can't be this, you can't Don't be, God forbid, don't be an actor or a singer or anything like that. Don't have dreams and inspire. You have to get a real job. Why is the educational system wanting to brainwash people that way? Well, because it funds the government, which is really what has been fucking around the whole world, right? Like that, if you can't see how all of those things are tied, then quite frankly, you don't get it. And that's been the battle. That has literally been the battle. And I had to see it for myself too. I had to see the bigger picture as I was going further and further into my memories, into my realities, into my world, that I have to explore all parts of my mind. And then if I go into my mind, why wouldn't that be a reality? And we don't think that until we really go, holy shit, this feels real, when we connect to people that we've never met. But when we get confirmation, the only way I got confirmation, through social media and seeing people and stories and different things. Well, if I tag people excessively for a year and a half, I'm sure I'm going to wake somebody up. That's just logic. So when I did the ClickFunnels challenge after day 6, like I was like, okay, I'm into this, I joke world domination, but that's not what I was ever intending to do. It was, I wanted to create, and I had this from a child, the world's largest self-help program. It was a genuine thing because I genuinely never wanted anyone to ever feel the way I felt. But I also understood in this process, and that's why, I had to learn and I had to understand that not everybody has good intentions. And I do, and I have, and I had to learn the ones who didn't and don't need to pay. Because I was, by the way I was allowing people to walk all over me. I was allowing people to mistreat me. I was allowing people to continuously abusing me, and that's on me. But where I forgive myself is the fact I didn't know, because I came from a lifetime of abuse. So I had to heal every layer of abuse to realize that, because the person I was abusing was me continuously. And that's what any type of addiction. So no, myself, I've never had an addiction with drugs or anything else. Mine was an eating disorder, but I healed that one on my own. Still have the ties of, the things with appearance and different things. And that's where the confusion is because when I don't feel good, I don't want to do, I started to shut down because this type of attention was not comfortable for me because I was abused. And people can go in different directions. And that when I was younger, so because my abuse started at such a young age, I went through a short period of going okay and giving my body away or different things or trying to please, and then I'm like, I don't want to do that and I instantly shut that down. But then then I went into high school and I did the opposite, where it was like a layer, like I needed to put on layer and weight and different things and not comfortable. And then when I shed that layer and went back into the modeling and everything else, well, that was confusing, different attention, different things. And then I'm in a relationship, my first marriage, where I'm not, no attention is being given to me in a way that I would expect, because I do have an extremely high sex drive, extremely high. So I said, understand the sex addiction, but I have a control on it. So it's not a sex, for me, I don't know, I'd have to look at it as sex addiction when you're not out going and sleeping with other people, no, but you are sexually aroused, right? But I have complete control over that. At one time, like I said, when I was in my first marriage, that guilt, I think, but it was such a confusing, because you're rejected, you're constantly rejected. You want to be loyal and faithful to one person, and then you're drawn and you're confused, right? So, and that I was young, so I'm in my early 20s, and then the guilt that I had consumed me because of the mistakes that I had made. And that's exactly when I left that marriage. But I left that marriage going, I don't ever want to be in a marriage where I'm an unfaithful person. I don't want that. I want to be in a marriage where I'm a faithful person. But I took all the blame, all the response, all of that, and felt like a shitty person. And I didn't realize, now looking back, his role in that and how he was controlling and abusing me and blah, blah, blah. And that's why he got away with so much and painted me, I'm crazy, I'm this, I'm that, and it's complete, I need medication, I need all those things. and still to this day takes zero responsibility for how he mistreated me and how that affects our child. And I'm tied to that because we have a child together. And I have to break away from that. And as of today's date, still, I don't have my child. I wrongfully, and I can't, two wrongs don't make a right. So my only option, because I'm such a great mother, is to fight the whole system and to prove what PTSD is, and to prove I don't need medication, and to prove all of these things, and tie it into programs and addiction, and do it in a completely unconventional way. I came up with the name Elegantly Outrageous for a business, honestly, when I was 17. I just didn't know what I was going to do with it, and I let it go, and I went up and down. But, after my marriage ended too, I left. It was my money, my stuff. He's fucked me over financially. He screwed me over in every way, even though it was all my stuff. But you know what I did? I went out and got a fucking job. And I went out and I worked for a corporation, and I moved and I did everything I needed to do, and it was a complete man's world. Another job that was a complete man's world. I worked on truck tires, in trucks, in fleets. I'd go to fucking Alabama in the heat. Because I'm not a greedy bitch. If anything, though, he was, and I fucked that. I didn't listen to the people say, no, you deserve, because I didn't want to take anything. Why? Because of the guilt of what I thought because I had cheated, I'm a piece of shit, so I don't deserve any of those things. So I overly punished myself. And what happened when I went into that corporate world? I was sexually harassed constantly, or because I was a woman, I wasn't smart enough. And then when I had a breakdown, the hospitals told me it was because I was multiple personality, this, that, and the other thing, just tying back in the bullshit, giving me more meds, more stuff. How does a person ever break away from that? When does a person ever get to heal? Because the system tells me I'm sick. But I've realized it's the system that is sick. It's the system that's sick. And my calling in life is to prove that and to create the world's largest self-help program. That I know in my gut and in my soul and in my heart I've already completed and I'm already successful at. So I can give myself a pat on the back, because I wouldn't be able to see the human ghosts around me all the time that surround me, that give me peace, who guide me. Because the truth is, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be as strong as I am now to do this, right? So no, I haven't met you. I haven't spoke to you. I'm not on apps. I'm not on stuff. The only accounts I use is I have my Instagram and my Facebook. The Twitter account's bullshit. It just puts out. It's like a business thing that I just sometimes put out the random stuff from Canva to give clues. Because my intentions were always to help. Always. You helped me first, the people, they absolutely, but now we have to see too that the other side of it, and that's where I had to call in the people that were, like, money is power, and I was afraid of money for a very long time. It's the area I wasn't good with, even though, like I said, I have money in the account, this, that, and the other thing. I've never in my life, ever been a person to bullshit my way with money to make it look like I have more than I have. If anything, my whole life I've always hidden what I have. Always. I've always been more minimal. Like, I minimize my talents. I minimize what I do. I don't brag. I don't, like, I'm the opposite. I know that confidently. I'm quite the opposite. And that's another reason why I got this. Like, I've been told, and in these things I have to get stronger and be a little more arrogant, because that's, and not in a way, because I always have that balance, because that's gratitude. It's the gratitude is what gives that balance and keeps the ego in check. We all have jealousies and egos and different things, and that's where, like, respect comes from, but understanding that for real. Right? So even in my dreams, I know my dreams are controlled by something else now that's bigger than me. And I joke and tease, and I get really angry because you know what buttons to push. You know how to push my buttons, but I also know the underlying meaning in pushing those buttons is to get me worked up to do something like this, because then I get mad and I do something. But also to help me heal it further and further, to know that and to trust that, you're not going to hurt me. And because something's so buried, so deep, it still doesn't trust, right? I've never spoke to Jim in my entire life. I've had zero communication with him other than in my head and him looking at the stories sometimes and tagging him. That's the truth. So how can somebody make me so angry that I want to kill him? And it hurts me so bad that in this world I don't even know. I don't know him. But obviously, I'm so connected to the rest of you, and I feel so many emotions and different things, and I feel an overwhelming amount of love or anger or rage or whatever. I feel that. So that's how I know. I'm guided by those feelings. And that's how we're connected. And it's all real, and that's fucked up. It's really fucked up. Because when I say I love you, I do. I do. There's many people in here that I feel your love, and that is what has helped me grow and get strong. And I hope you feel mine, because I want you to heal. That's the intentions. So I have to genuinely believe that, Jim's intentions are the same, and that's that healing, and that's that proof of showing, souls that can come together in this world. And I've been honest about so many things in the process. But the truth is, I have to understand that bullshit he was saying, it's not Jim anymore. He died just like Candace did. And that's a fucked up concept, because it's too much. So the only way that we can get that out is for people to start to see bullshit stories. So I put my bullshit layers on it, bullshit stuff too, just like you do. And but I only see it in my head, because these doctors are wrong. These doctors are wrong. And now I know I have doctors on our team. I say our team because I see it, who agree and are helping me prove it. Otherwise, I wouldn't see what I see. So I can flip off and go whatever, but I come back fast, and I do it in different clips so you can mind fuck more people. But, you do know that I love you.